Hi, this presentation is going to help you learn what a personal learning network is and how to get one started. You probably recognize these symbols. They all represent different types of social media: Twitter, Facebook, Scoopit, Pinterest, etc. Sure, I use social media, but you say I can use it to grow professionally? What? Absolutely. Social media is a great way for teachers to connect, to get advice, share ideas, connect with teachers in this country as well as across the world, personalize your learning, find out information on an as needed basis. It's fun, it helps you develop creative lessons and build community with other teachers. So, how do you get started? You will find this handout on Blackboard under the course content tab, and it has a bunch of links to different sites that will be helpful to get you started as you begin to build your own personal learning network. The first thing that you want to do is figure out which network you want to begin with. Do you want to be on Twitter or Pinterest or Facebook or whatever it might be? You can also choose to follow groups of that. It doesn't necessarily have to be just Twitter. Teaching Channel, Edutopia are great sites for videos. Once you have determined the types of media you want to follow, it then becomes helpful to begin organizing it. And then the last step of being in a personal learning network is to share. And once you get comfortable, you can choose to do that when you're ready. One of the other sites on here that I really like that you may not be familiar with is Scoopit. So I would like to share with you what Scoopit looks like. This is an example from my Scoopit page that is my science hub that I have for my science teachers. And I have science teachers that follow me in my district, and it provides them with information. You'll also notice that I have other topics that I curate, such as assessment for learning and personal learning networks to learn more about those, project-based learning in science. With a Scoopit account, you can have up to 5 topics that you can scoop. And what you do is when you are out on the web and you're searching for something and you see a really cool video, for example, you can see I have the magic of science up here, and I just hit Scoopit and it adds it to my science page or whatever page I'm curating, so to speak. So you actually create your own kind of magazine, so to speak, with different topics in it. And then other people can scoop from your Scoopit page and find information that they need or want to use. And so that is how that particular personal learning network might work. So along with Scoopit, you might choose to use Twitter. Here is just a brief list of educators that might be interesting to follow. You can see that I'm already following Rick Wormeli, and I have a star next to him because he is an educator that has a lot of information on assessment. So you might be interested in following Rick as well, and he's a lot of fun. A couple of things about Twitter that you may or may not be familiar with, but once you're on Twitter and you start following people, in their tweets and in their profiles, you can find ideas on organizations to follow. So for example, you'll notice right there by that arrow, it says @SBE. That is an educational organization that Katrina has chosen to follow, or she has chosen to retweet some information to them. That @SBE is their Twitter handle. So organizations like ASCD, NSTA, all of the professional organizations are on Twitter now, and you can connect with them and find lots of information. Another thing about Twitter that's kind of cool, you'll notice that I have trending topic to search arrow there, and you'll notice right by that it says #FlipClass. Well, the #FlipClass, anybody that is communicating about flipped classrooms and they use that hashtag, you can search that and follow what they're saying about that particular topic without having to follow them, for example. But you can see what they've said because they've included that hashtag with their tweet. And so if you're interested in finding out information about flipped classrooms and you follow that and somebody has a really cool idea and links to resources, then you have access to those links and resources and ideas as well. So that's what's kind of cool about following people on Twitter. Here's an example of what, if you choose to follow people on Twitter, what it might look like. And you will notice that they have different, they have different websites that you can look at. They also recommend hashtags that you can follow. You can view different pieces of media. You can retweet and send their information to other people that follow you. Here's a link to a website that you could go to and get information. What's really cool about this is, I believe it was Rick Wormeli last year was at a conference in Washington, D.C. And I clicked on the hashtag for that conference and started seeing bunches of really cool ideas popping up about the different sessions. And I was able to download some information about Common Core without ever having to attend that session. But because somebody in that session tweeted the handouts, I was able to get the handouts. So that's what's really cool about creating a personal learning network, is that you don't necessarily have to be at every conference, but you can get information from those conferences. So that's kind of neat. Another social media outlet that you could follow would be to follow people's blogs and get ideas that way. Let me share with you an example from this particular blog. This is Steve Goldberg's blog, and he's a social studies teacher. And so this is an example of a lesson that he created for his students in social studies on Arab Spring and what that's all about and how he came about kind of thinking about it. You will notice that he has a link embedded within his blog. And when we click on that link, you will see that it takes us to his lesson questions that he posed to his 6th grade students. So you can get ideas on lesson plans, handouts to use with your students, different ways to think about things. It's really kind of cool to be able to go out there and not have to recreate the wheel, but you can download this handout and use it in your classroom. Here are just a few other ideas of social media that you could add to your personal learning network. A lot of organizations are on Facebook. We've already talked about Twitter. YouTube is related to Teaching Channel, but you can search YouTube for all kinds of different things. Create your own YouTube channel where other people can follow your YouTube channel of videos that you create and share. LinkedIn is a way to connect with other educators and grow your own network. SlideShare is really kind of cool because you can upload and download PowerPoint presentations, and so you don't have to recreate the wheel. If there's a presentation already created on a topic that you want to teach, there it is. It's right there ready to go. Pinterest is a great way to start following boards and creating your own board to pin ideas to with regard to different educational endeavors. And keep in mind that teachers will not be replaced by technology, but teachers who don't use technology will be replaced by those who do. So this is a way to kind of, if you're not into using some of these social media places, that you can kind of dip your big toe into that pool to see what it's all about and familiarize yourself, because our students are using these sites and getting information and ideas and growing their personal learning networks too. So your task is to create your own personal learning network as described on the syllabus. You can join Twitter and follow people, subscribe to people's blogs, as I said earlier, adapt Pinterest boards, connect with people on LinkedIn, or a combination of whatever you would like. You can do Twitter and Facebook. You could do Twitter and Scoop It, whatever you would like. You're going to search out and follow experts on assessment for learning, classroom assessment, and data analysis to inform your learning about classroom assessment this semester.